You wake up at 6:47 a.m., not because your body is rested, because your alarm decided your rent is due again. You brush your teeth half asleep, check your phone. 3 emails, 1 bank notification, a motivational post from a billionaire telling you to work harder. Then you spend the next 9 hours selling your time so someone else's company becomes more valuable than your entire lifetime income. And here's the strange part. Most people think this is temporary. They think one promotion, one raise, one good salary away from finally becoming rich. But the uncomfortable truth is this. For most people, salary was never designed to make them wealthy. It was designed to keep them functional. And there's a massive difference between those two things. Because if salary actually created wealth at scale, teachers would be millionaires. Engineers would retire at 40. Doctors wouldn't burn out under debt. And corporate employees making 6 figures wouldn't still panic when layoffs start trending on Twitter. But they do. All of them do. Because income is not wealth. And modern economies quietly depend on people confusing the two. Right now, across most major cities in the world, something bizarre is happening. People are earning more money than previous generations, yet owning less. Less land, less time, less financial security, less freedom. In the United States, inflation-adjusted wages have barely moved for decades, while housing, healthcare, and education exploded in cost. In India, salaries in many white-collar sectors look impressive on paper, until you compare them against property prices, urban living costs, and long-term financial pressure. And this creates
a psychological trap. You feel successful, but remain financially fragile. Because salary gives the appearance of progress without necessarily creating ownership. And ownership is where wealth actually lives. Think about how the system treats salaried workers. Your income arrives monthly, predictably, controlled. Taxes are often deducted before you even touch the money. Then your remaining income flows outward. Rent, EMIs, subscriptions, insurance, fuel, food delivery apps convincing you that paying 400 rupees for cold coffee is self-care. The money comes in and immediately leaves, like water through a pipe. Now compare that to how wealthy people usually make money. Not salaries, assets, businesses, equity, real estate, investments, intellectual property. Things that continue generating value even when they're sleeping. That's the real divide in modern economies. Not rich versus poor. Asset owners versus labor sellers. And salary places you firmly in the second category. Even high salaries. Especially high salaries sometimes. Because high earners often upgrade their lifestyle faster than they build ownership. A bigger apartment, a luxury car, private schools, better vacations, more expensive stress.
Professional behavior. Useful skills, obviously. But almost nobody teaches ownership. Nobody explains how equity works, or why businesses become exponentially valuable, or why investors often earn more from capital appreciation than workers earn from decades of labor. A teenager can graduate understanding trigonometry, yet have no idea why buying assets early changes an entire life trajectory. And that ignorance becomes expensive. Very expensive. Because wealth is usually built through multiplication. Salary works mostly through addition. And addition is painfully slow. If you save 20,000 rupees every month, consistently, for years, that's discipline. But if an asset grows 15%, 20%, or 50% over time, the math changes completely. This is why startup founders can become wealthier in 5 years than executives working 30. Not because they work harder. Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they absolutely don't. But because ownership scales differently than labor, labor has physical limits. You only have 24 hours. An asset doesn't care about sleep. And the internet accelerated this gap dramatically. One software product can serve 10 million users. One video can generate income for years. One company can expand globally without proportionally increasing employees. Technology rewards scale. Salary rewards attendance. That's why modern work feels increasingly unstable. Companies no longer need huge numbers of workers the way industrial economies once did. Automation handles repetition. AI handles analysis. Algorithms handle coordination. Meanwhile, workers compete globally. A designer in Mumbai competes with someone in Manila. A programmer in London competes with someone in Bangalore. A writer competes with software. And when labor becomes abundant, its price pressure changes. Quietly. Slowly. Then all at once. This is why many people feel exhausted despite doing everything right. Because they followed a map designed for a different economic era. The old promise sounded simple.